So good day, Edward Moody, President of the South Orpooch Riverine Flood Action Group. And we are a little bit out of the area because a lot of farmers have been reaching out to us in flood prone areas. This is the Orange Grove Estate, where we have farmers here who are leaseholders, but management of the entire area is a problem. As you all could see, this is the roadway for access. It is now a one lane. And here is where we have the Caroni River. Now the Caroni River takes water from way up Lopino, parts of Arima, Cora River. But this particular area that we are looking at, the water from Dinsley, Trin City and surrounding areas come down here, and it passes through a very narrow sluice gate. And of course, all over Trinidad now we are calling the sluice gates floodgates because they are contributing to flooding. So I am here with a number of farmers who reached out to us. We were doing a tour on the Caroni River with the MP, Dinesh Rambali, and we decided to come and pay these farmers a visit. So Mr. Rambali, give us a take on what is happening here today.
Good morning to everyone. So we are here, this is the Orange Grove Estate. Those who want to get some geographical identity with the area, if you are heading east along the Churchill Roosevelt Highway, you will pass the almost in the Trin City Industrial Estate area. Most people identify the turnoff as Blue Waters. So if you turn right and you are heading in a southerly direction, you come to the end of the road and you have all of this acreage of farming lands. Persons here traditionally farm in 5-acre plots. That is what they have been essentially leased. And I know even that has some little issues to sort out with the Ministry of Agriculture in terms of regularizing or confirming people's tenure here. But this morning, while we are here, on the opposite, the exact opposite side of this riverbank is the Caroni village itself. So I know that the farmers had reached out some time back. Unfortunately, I couldn't have made it here before. I was on the other side of the riverbank. This morning, fortunately, I'm here on this side and to see what exactly is going on with them. What has happened is that during this year of 2022, these farmers have already experienced 3 bouts of flooding and severe flooding. When we do some further footage, Mr. Moody, you will see that it is in some areas 4 to 5 feet of water. Farmers, if water comes up here, which is what happened in the last week, last weekend and the few days before last weekend, what happened to them is that the farmers who were caught here had to remain here for almost 5 nights. They could not leave here to get out.
And we got video footage of them with their flambeau sleeping on pallets with the dogs and what have you.
Correct. So you would have seen some social media footage, you know, WhatsApp videos and stuff going around. That was in fact true. So if you were outside, you could not come in here. And if you were here, like some of the farmers, you could not get out. And that was the state of affairs here. What is happening is that every time they get flooded out, as I said, 4 to 5 feet of water in some areas, other areas. And when we look at it, you will see the parched, the brown parched vegetation, right? What is remaining of the vegetation. That gives you an idea of how much of it has been destroyed. Farmers do bori, pimento peppers, tomatoes, okra, you name it. It is a wide variety of crops here. The problem is that on the one side, you have at certain places breaches of the Caroni River bank. That is, I think that is a known thing. The country is aware of that. The population is aware of that. At almost the virtual end of this, if I may use the term loosely, paved track, right? This pathway here. When you get to the end, there's a sluice gate. That sluice gate is malfunctioning. So what happens is that when the volume of water which is coming from the northern side, Dinsley, Trin City, etc. coming down, people cannot underestimate. If we look in the distance, you'll see there's an embankment. That is not necessarily a river embankment, but you can see the embankment with the tall trees there. That is bringing down a lot of water from the north Dinsley, Trin City. It is coming down. When it meets the sluice gate, that sluice gate be malfunctioning in times of heavy rainfall. The Caroni River water now is entering here. So you can imagine volume of water that should properly flow out, and this Caroni River flowing in it meets here, and so you have a collection pool right
so
here.
we have a backflow.
You have a backflow.
So the main water source is the Caroni River. It now flows into the surrounding farmlands. Now these farmers have reported that it is the 3rd major flood for the year. But what is the issue with compensation? None of them have received any compensation. Nobody have come from the Ministry of Agriculture to say, well, what losses did you incur, as is traditionally done over the years with the Ministry of Agriculture.
Well, Moody, that is why I'm here this morning, because this now has to convert into a legal issue. So representation is one thing, and representation will be made. I know the Farmers Association, they're here. I know they have invited the media and stuff this morning. I am grateful to them for the invitation to be here myself. But in terms of they're seeking assistance from me, I am going to be looking at converting this into a legal issue. Representation needs to be converted into enforcement when it comes to these matters now.
Now, you mentioned something, that the water level, according to the farmers, and they just said it in previous interviews, it comes to 5 feet. Now, the guy who is working with the Ministry of Agriculture, he actually lives in Sandy Grande. How is he crossing that water to come and relieve these farmers of the stress that they are facing?
Well, that is one of the major complaints that they have had for this year, and that is something we will be making representation with respect to. It is in this day and age where we have these kind of flooding woes, you must be able to identify, and all of these are bona fide farmers. So
leaseholders,
yes,
leaseholders.
Correct. So you must have one of them that we can identify, that they can be properly in charge of the sluice gate.
So Mr. Rambali, being an attorney, now if you give somebody a lease, you are supposed to maintain the infrastructure. Now look at the roads that we are seeing here. Look at the drains. The farmers do not have a crossing from on the roads to get to their land. Some of them are using pallets that are dangerous, and obviously they might impede the flow at some time. And what we are saying is, and I am sure you would agree with me, that what we need is a holistic look of this entire farming area to upgrade it to what it is supposed to be. Look at the price we are paying now for vegetables because of losses. And what has caused the loss here? The losses are being caused by negligence on behalf of the ministry. Why is it that farmers, and my brother here who sent me all those videos, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning,
so
with a flambeau.
Just for the benefit of them, he was on the pallet, eh?
Yes, sleeping on the pallet. I got those videos, but I was in South dealing with issues in South. And when I saw this video, I told the brother, listen, I am coming up, get the farmers together, we are going to expose the truth. Now, the farmers here have no issue, they are very humble people. And all of them spoke about temporary fix. But I am putting it to the ministry. The days for temporary fix done. It is time that they come in here and they repair that sluice gate. Because that is an embarrassment. It will cost just a few $1,000s to repair that sluice gate. Why is it that farmers do not have access to a key to open that sluice gate? That makes no sense, but they have to sleep on pallets here in order to provide tomatoes for the market next day. 5 days, brother. How much days you spent here?
5 days, from Thursday night to Monday.
With your dog and your brother?
The dog and them I take over from the water.
So you save some dogs.
Yeah.
So people, the focus here is on a total rehabilitation of the site. It is not going to be very expensive to do. And you farmers have to stand up. And I am putting it to the Minister of Agriculture and to whoever is in engineering and wherever you are collecting your big heavy salary. If you do not fix this in 2 weeks, we are going to come back here and we are going to repair that gate ourselves if we have to. Because this is total disrespect and a failure of management.
Moody, I think you need to let them know, right? This thing, you can't use the same measures that you were using before if it is the basic infrastructure has now become dilapidated. Right? Sluice gates included, the riverbank, you cannot use the same measures before. If you were not proactive for the last 7 years or so, you need to adopt some more, some more enforceable measures. Look, I see CNC3 is here this morning, right? Guardian Media. I want to say that when you look at it, and I saw the coverage from CNC3 Media, the World UN Climate Report, right? This is the World Climate Report that has been issued, speaks about a chronology of chaos. That is what is expected with the weather patterns moving forward. So if the UN World Climate Report is telling you that, we know that, we're experiencing that every year. The Minister of Works, Minister of Agriculture, all of them say from time to time when they issue their statements, they speak about the fact that we are having unprecedented rainfall, etc. I don't want to get into that.
Mr. Ambali, do you know that the rainfall we have had thus far has been normal? We
No,
are still expecting
yes.
the unprecedented rainfall. But if that should happen in Trinidad and Tobago from now until Christmas, we are in for a massive disaster.
No, measurement of rainfall is one thing. What I'm saying is that what you're seeing these little spurts
Correct.
of weather patterns where you will have
Heavy rainfall.
heavy rainfall within
In a
very
short
space
space,
of time.
correct.
So that is what I am talking about. But
Yeah.
you're right, in terms of measurement all wrong, year for year, we have not seen a major change in the amount of volume of rainfall. So that is accepted. But the point is, if you are going to be experiencing these kind of inclement weather in very short, drastic periods of time, you're going to have these flooding disasters. Of course, we have to be more proactive with the sluice gates. You can't have a man leaving Grandy. He himself might be caught in traffic.
In
He might
flood,
be
no,
caught
no, in
flooding.
flood, in flood.
He's flooded out in one part of the country. He can't get chain time. You have a malfunction in sluice gate here.
We
This
have
one is a
farmers
sluice gate.
on site.
You have farmers on site, farmers sleeping on pallet, floating in the water in the night, right, with their dogs and a flambeau. That is all they have. And not one night, you know. Not a few hours, 5 days, because you can't come out of here. Every time you have flooding like this, the startup cost for a farmer, we all know what has happened with fertilizer, we all know what has happened with chemicals. It has gone up by about 400, 500%. So what is the startup cost now for them to start over to get their crops on board? And this is what the government needs to appreciate. This is what I want the country to appreciate. If you want to talk about food security, Moody, you want to talk about the farmers contributing more, you want to talk about lower prices for the consumers out there, we need to fix this thing now.
So Edward Moody from the South Orpooch Riverine Flood Action Group, we are going into communities, they are reaching out to us, we are standing up for the people. And this is not about being against any government. This is about dealing with the facts and demanding respect and demanding what is due to you as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago.